All right, peace. Peace, everyone. Sapo, the Success Scholar. Akish Shakur, me here. Thank you all for tuning in, listening in. So I just wanted to address an issue I was thinking deeply just the other day. Well, for those who may not know, in Baltimore City, a police officer was shot and killed. He just discovered, like yesterday, this happened 2 days ago, but we just discovered he was a black officer. But I'm not going to speak about, well, I'll speak about all of it. At first I was going to say I don't want to speak about the perpetrators or what may have happened, because it's all speculative at this time. But I just want to go on record that I think that all of the first and second arriving units to the scene, as well as many other individuals, the partner to the particular crime, as well as all the other police officers, the first few police officers to the scene, because you're not going to tell me that nobody's seen anything, that his partner did not necessarily get any picture, or like that boy was fast. Whoever the perpetrator was, he got out of there like really quickly. So that was really strange, and it's just a strange scenario. So, but what I wanted to mention is how black politicians, as well as black police officers, have to create an inferiority complex, or more of a black self-hating identity to serve in these positions. Why do I say that? Well, I was listening to several different, of course, people chat. Oh my God, it is bright. People chat their emotions, their racist emotions, during times like this, where they feel attacked, where as some label, they're jungle bunnies. That's what one racist person said on one of these. I was just looking through different comments. These people getting bold with their racist connotations. So people making suggestions about welfare and what people should do to people in Baltimore, and Section 8, and just they don't work, these kind of comments. And it made me think, for instance, like the perpetrator, what would have happened to the perpetrator of this crime, right? For instance, there was I think I'm gonna stop and get my hair cut. There was, what was I gonna say? Sorry. So, oh my God, I'm having a brain fart. Let me think. What was I going back to? Okay. What was I thinking about? Shoot. Wait a minute. I haven't seen a moment. Okay. Well, the politicians and the police officers, but there were several, politicians making statements, discussing, feeling sorry for the families, and, but and I don't want to simplify or suggest that we shouldn't feel not sorry, but we don't know what was going on, and I one that's conscious enough and intelligent enough and healthy enough and aware enough and astute enough to know that you never know what's going on. I mean, nowadays, sometimes people want to suggest or believe that everyone's doing the right thing out there in the streets, or that police officers are doing the right thing. Well, they just had recent 7 police officers indicted for robbing and planting drugs and planting evidence, all kind of shenanigans. So many of us know, for instance, that there are things happening like this. In our community, people feel like they can get away with a little bit of everything. But in terms of the self-hatred, I thought about how the killer, for instance, in Charleston, South Carolina, was treated, right? How this Dylan Roof, who murdered 9 black people in a church, people felt sympathy. Now here you are, you have, and this was the only real point I was trying to make, you have one killer that went in a church, right? That went in a church and killed 9 black people. And what did he do? He was given a hamburger, taken to Burger King, because the little lad, the poor child was hungry. What did the judge say? We have to forgive. We have to forgive. We gotta learn, but it's best to learn to forgive, or something. So that's deep. Just think about that. 9 black people, nine Christian black people in a church, and you got people taking them to get hamburgers, and you have judges, the judge in the case. He not only said that we gotta learn to forgive, but they also said that 2 families or more than one family is hurt in this case. So this is the psychology. This is the psychology that many persons that have, that may not have high levels of melanin in their skin and classify themselves as white, may in fact feel about, just 9 black Christians being killed. See, they were not necessarily upset. They didn't feel death penalty or about people that getting killed in the house of the Lord. They felt that this poor guy, But I'm just wondering, for instance, how people feeling what would happen perhaps to the perpetrator that killed 1 life here, outside in the streets of Baltimore. You see what I'm saying? So the system of racism, white supremacy, runs deep, and many of the black politicians, they are forced. For instance, if I may address just how oh, wait a minute. If I was having another brain fart. I was thinking about how the black politicians have to, force themselves, and the black police officers have to force themselves to see their own kind as being diminished, and they have to, divert many resources. For instance, they allow for more resources to be diverted towards the death of a law enforcement officer, comparative, for instance, the resources that would be coming to just a regular person. So there's a class as well as a caste dynamic within society, and unfortunately, I know that many politicians, black ones, have to feel very, inferior in this society, and most of them, they're not conscious or aware of their deep-rooted self-hatred that many of them unfortunately have to deal with in their daily interactions, and how the resources of this society and the wealth and of this society is unevenly handed out. So I just say, for your own self-esteem and race esteem, you have to, even if you are in a position, of a colonial puppet, and you feel inferior and you hate everything about the conditions that have been created, and you're not doing anything to change these conditions truly, because you'd rather be at cocktail sips and strip joints and being miseducated by miseducated Negroes, and listening to people outside of our communities that don't have anything intelligent to say, and no real true solutions for our community. I say continue on. But I just wanted to put it out there that unfortunately many of these individuals don't have any real plans or strategies, and eventually they'll have to see that they're failing themselves. They're failing themselves and they're failing humanity. So that's all I have to say. I'm out. Peace. Stopping at the ATM. I ain't gonna tell nobody which one I'm at, but damn it, how do I stop this thing? Shoot.